Hello, and welcome to End-to-End Phishing Resistance. My name is Danny Paul, and I'm a solutions engineer with Cisco, supporting all things identity security. If you're a Duo customer, thank you. And by the end of today, I'm going to arm you with some strategies to evade identity phishing attacks. These are strategies that you can implement right now today at the end of this call. If you're not a current Duo customer, we'd love to earn your business, and I'm going to do that by demonstrating just how easy it is to implement extremely strong identity security. So first, I want to help you understand what identity phishing is and how you can use Duo to protect against it. Identity phishing is when an attacker uses an array of methods to compromise user credentials. Often, the attacker is using some form of deception to convince the user to do something that they probably shouldn't do, and they probably know not to do. For example, they might convince them to click a link or reset their password. Maybe the attacker is just taking advantage of a weakly protected new or unused user account. Importantly, with identity phishing attacks, they happen at all stages of a user's lifecycle. A brand new user signing in for the first time is just as vulnerable as a seasoned and established user. So we want to equip you and your users with the tools that they need to evade phishing attacks at all stages. In total, we call this protection end-to-end phishing resistance. For each of the stages I have listed here, I'm going to tell you what a typical attack looks like and what you can do about it with Duo. The first lifecycle stage I'm going to tell you about is enrollment. So imagine this scenario. You hire a remote employee, you ship them a laptop, and you include instructions on how to log in for the first time, how to set up MFA, and how to get everything ready to go. MFA enrollment is all done in line. The first time they log in, they'll get prompted to enroll in MFA, and from there on out, they're protected. Easy, right? Here's the problem. There's no guarantee that the person you hired is the person that you actually shipped the laptop to. The person opening the box, maybe they got it by mistake, or maybe they stole it off the porch of your new employee. The victim account really doesn't even have to be a new one. It could be an account that got created and never used, or even an active account where the self-service options are easy to phish. What can we do to make sure that the person sitting behind the keyboard is the person that they claim to be? So lots of organizations have solved for this risk by firing up WebEx and having a help desk employee verify identity with a driver's license. This ends up being kind of costly and error-prone. So what if we could eliminate the help desk employee's time altogether here? Well, now you can with Duo's identity verification. With identity verification, we partnered with a company called Persona to provide a world-class verification experience. Your new employee follows the instructions that are emailed to them. When the user clicks on this link, they land in Duo's enrollment process. Because this Duo tenant has an identity verification policy enabled, they're required to prove their identity before they enroll. The user is redirected to Persona for identity verification, where they can choose how they want to verify the identity. They choose a U.S. driver's license and are prompted to hold that license up in front of the camera. So Persona is going to prompt the user to look at the front of the license, to look at the back of the license to find the barcode on the back, and Persona is going to use this to validate the license, to make sure that the license is still valid, that it matches everything in a state database. After we've determined that the ID is valid, Persona is going to perform identity verification on the user. The user is going to look right at the camera, look to the left, they're going to look to the right. Persona is going to match that to the picture that's on the driver's license. Once the picture is matched with the picture on the ID, the user is all set and is ready to enroll a factor in Duo. Identity verification can be used during enrollment of new users, but remember that attackers might even impersonate users during self-service to enroll their own authenticators. So engineers will also be able to require identity verification for self-service flows as well, preventing the whole range of enrollment attacks. So bringing in Persona will certainly help on the enrollment side. But what can you do right now today if you don't have a Persona subscription? Well, the first thing you can do is disable the new user policy that allows inline enrollment. So instead of allowing unenrolled users to enroll in line with authentication, change your new user policy to deny. This will prevent compromised accounts from giving attackers an ability to register their own MFA device to impersonate a legitimate user. 2, you can leverage Duo's new user enrollment policy. Historically, self-service enrollment was done in line with your MFA policy. So if you had an application that allowed insecure authentication, an attacker could use that authenticator to enable their own authentication device via self-service. Today, however, we actually have a separate policy to provide tighter controls for enrollment and self-service, and that's where identity verification can be enabled. So we talked about a new user and new laptop scenario. What about existing users on existing devices? Workers today are hypermobile, whether they're working in the office, at home, in a coffee shop, or a hotel lobby. All that access to physical devices really encumbers an awful lot of risk. Historically, device logins are not protected with MFA. Neither are VDI, RDP, or SSH, or myriad other ways that remote work gets done. So Duo protects in all of these scenarios. But what I'll show here is our latest iteration on Windows protection. We've offered MFA for Windows logins forever now, but our most recent innovation comes in the form of passwordless protection for Windows. I'm going to assume that you know what a Windows login looks like. You enter your username, you enter password, maybe perform MFA, and then you get to your desktop. With Windows passwordless, we're taking the password totally out of the equation, and we're storing an authenticator on the user's device. When the user signs in, their phone receives a push, and we validate over Bluetooth that the phone is actually nearby. We use biometrics to decrypt the authenticator, transmit it to the PC, and they're in. With Desktop Passwordless, we're very confident that the user is who they say they are, as we've both validated proximity over Bluetooth and validated the user presence with biometrics. Also, we've really enhanced the user experience, taking the cumbersome password-based login out of the daily user experience for the user. So what can you do today? If you already protect your desktops with MFA, consider taking the leap to passwordless. You can enable this right now. You configure OS passwordless in your Windows login application configuration. If you're not ready to take that jump, verified push can be added to OS login by modifying your authentication methods policy for the target application. Attacks on our next 2 lifecycle phases share some pretty similar characteristics, so I'm going to talk about them together. Lots of organizations have experienced this. A user receives an email from HR or payroll, and they're encouraged to visit a link immediately. The user clicks the link, they enter a username and password, they perform MFA, and then finds that the document that they're redirected to just is blank. There's no answers in it. So at first, the attack seems like kind of a big waste of time until you examine the link. It wasn't actually to your intranet site. It was a crafted URL that goes to an attacker's proxy service. This proxy service takes the username and password and performs a login against the company's intranet site. When MFA is required, the proxy even presents realistic-looking MFA UI so that the target user performs a push or enters a one-time code or performs some other low-assurance authentication. Because the attacker's proxy is in the middle of the traffic, the attacker now has the user's cookie and can impersonate them on all systems, including the MFA service itself. So what can you do about this? The best first step is to migrate to authenticators that enforce origin binding. Any Duo-protected application that uses the web prompt can use the WebAuthn protocol to leverage roaming or platform authenticators. These typically have some cost and cannot be universally deployed. So you can also enforce proximity push with Bluetooth, similar to how I showed you with Desktop Passwordless. You can also use Duo Desktop to respond to stolen sessions. Duo Desktop will cryptographically sign your Duo health reports, meaning that if a user falls victim to a session hijack, the attacker cannot use the stolen session because they have no way of signing the health check with the victim's keys. Now, rolling these out may not be something you could do in a day, but you can get started. Start with your high-value users and administrators, or start with your most critical applications and go from there. Our fifth lifecycle phase involves a helpful help desk. So stop me if you've heard this one before. The user returns from vacation and they call the help desk. And they say, I've been on vacation for a couple of weeks and I forgot my password while I was out. And then I ran over my phone in the parking lot, so I have no way to perform MFA. And I really just need you to solve all of these problems for me. So the help desk, they want to be helpful and they want to solve problems. They're incentivized to close tickets quickly, to not inject friction into the user experience, and get good customer satisfaction scores out of their users. But how do we know that the user calling is actually who they claim to be? How do we know that it's not an attacker that's impersonating the user, that's using maybe an AI deepfake to impersonate the user's voice? Well, the first protection is a pretty old one, in that we've had help desk push for quite some time. If a user calls the help desk and the help desk wants to verify that they are who they say they are, the help desk can send a push to the user. The user acknowledges the push and reads a code back to the help desk to verify that they are actually talking to the user. The other is identity verification. So as we saw with enrollment, we can use identity verification to verify that the person sitting behind the keyboard is who they are with a government ID. So we offer identity verification in a help desk scenario as well. So in this case, the help desk employee is going to click on Verify with Government ID. They're going to tell the user to navigate to verify.duo.com and enter an access code. The user will enter the code. They're going to verify with persona. In this case, the user already has a government ID on file, so all we need to do is make sure that they still match the ID. Just like with enrollment, the user looks forward, they look to the left, they look to the right. Persona is going to verify that this picture matches the picture that's on the ID. And once they're verified, the help desk gets notified that the user was validated and that they are free to service that user's request. So there you have it, folks. In less than 30 minutes, you've protected your users from falling into these common phishing nets. So if you're a current Duo customer, again, thank you. And you can find out about all these features and more at duo.com/docs. If you're not a customer yet, sign up for a free 30-day trial at signup.duo.com. Thank you, and have a great day.
Hello again. You've made it all the way to the end. Thank you for attending the Cisco Duo Identity Summit. We hope it was insightful and helpful for you in your journey to building trust in your organization. Now, this content will remain at this link for the next month, so feel free to click back if you want to rewatch anything. And we're always available for additional questions on duo.com. Just send us a chat. But have a great rest of your day.